Malama Pono, Malama Aina. As of today, a petition that has been going around for a couple of months that was started by Cami Carter, who spoke a little while ago, is up to about 2,100 people and growing. I think the most outstanding issue right now is the World Health Organization's determination that glyphosate probably causes cancer. And I think that's really significant, and I think that we need to heed that very important finding. And many countries and municipalities are making their own decisions to make the determination that it's cancer causing or banning it, and Sri Lanka is one of the latest ones that I've heard of. So I don't think it's far enough, but I think it's a really good start to do this, and I think it's great that we're starting with the county and we should move on to the state, but here we are, let's make this happen. I was just looking at the label on a product called, I think it's Honcho, which is a glyphosate product. And so I'm asking myself, is the county really following the label? And I look at the label, and the label says, do not spray in more than 10 miles per hour winds, wet conditions. It is dangerous to humans, domestic animals, and that protective gear must be worn at all times, and use a low drift nozzle. And I've seen the county break all that rule over and over again. And so if we're just looking at what the label says and the EPA authorizes, forget the WHO study for a second, because actually if the EPA was really doing their job, they would actually say, hey, we need to actually ban this or consider banning it, but we're not there yet, so we have to do it at this level. So even at this level, the county, they're not following. So let's move on to, I was going to talk about some of the things that, we had a recent a series of lectures by scientists that have studied and researched glyphosate and GMOs come to Hawaii Island, and we invited all the council members to come. And if, I'm sorry if you couldn't have made it, we're making a video of it so we can get copies to you all and you can learn more about. At least 300 studies came to a really strong conclusion about glyphosate in particular, and I actually don't have time to read it all, but I'll be glad to give you copies later. I want to talk more about the solutions, because I want to propose that the county consider a couple problems and fix it with a couple of ways at the same time.
30 seconds.
And that would be to take the green waste that we have coming in and turn that into material at a more local spot levels, different compost waste piles, and we can make mulch, we can make growing media, and then we can start growing plants that would be really good on the sides of the road for pollinator type attractants and native plants. So and then we'd be doing more responsible type composting, where the fire ants are controlled, not just dumping it in a pile and not using real scientific protocols for compost making, but doing it the right way. And then we'd have a source to produce all the plantings that we would need for the highways potentially. So I just think there's a lot of potential and solutions, and I'd love to work with the county and many others that would love to work with the county and spend the next year working on that. If the bill passes, we have a year to do that. So that's a really good design in the future of this bill. So thank you so much, and aloha, council.